The South African Weather Service is warning residents in parts of Mpumalanga, Kwa-Zulu Natal and Limpopo to expect heavy rains. This is Tropical Storm Eloise is making its way inland. It has already caused extensive damage in Mozambique and Madagascar. Our reporter Dazen Tatia joins us now from White River in Mpumalanga. Dazen, what are conditions like where you are?
Well, I'll start with our trip here. So we left Kwa-Zulu Natal very early this morning, just after 7 o'clock. And when we left, it was blue skies and sunshine. But as we approached our destination, and this is the base for Rescue South Africa's operations for the duration of the storm. As we approached here, we noticed that the weather started turning. There has been, a bit of a break, an intermittent rain, but when it does come down, it's been coming down quite heavy, and that made the drive extremely difficult. So we've just arrived here a short while ago. We travelled in with some of the team members that had come in from KZN. I'll bring in eNCA now into the conversation. He is the CEO of Rescue SA. Ian, thanks for having us here. And, we have worked together in the past, and I know what your team is capable of. But it's a little bit different this year, particularly because this is the time of COVID-19 and the lockdown. How has your organization been coping thus far?
Look, it's been a very difficult year. Since March of last year, what we usually do is we teach in order to raise funds that becomes the seed money for these missions, and we haven't earned a penny since last year. So we were really down to our last number of rands, and the effect of that was that making the decision to deploy was delayed until we could do some fundraising, and eventually when enough money came in, then we got the green light to go. So Rescue South Africa, being dependent on donations from the public in order to do the type of work we do, and the additional funding that we get from the teaching that we do, we teach rescue modules, it's made things really, really difficult, and it slows you down in your response.
Yeah, the reason I asked you that was just to lead to this operation that you guys are doing now. How has that impacted? What does it mean for your response to Tropical Storm Eloise? Talk to me about your capabilities and what you'll be able to offer anyone in need around here.
Right. So Rescue South Africa has made up a team of some of the lecturers from University of Nelson Mandela Bay, from University of Johannesburg, then volunteers that are part of Rescue South Africa, then this group that has come in now from KwaZulu Natal, and there is another group of 8 that are coming up tomorrow from Johannesburg. That'll make us around 20 rescuers. We've got inflatable boats called Crocs. We've got 9 of those, so you can take 18 rescuers. We've got the capability to work under a helicopter, so the rope and the rope systems and the trained personnel that are able to do that type of very, very specialized work is part of the group. So we have a nice rounded group of people that do come from around South Africa that offer their services. Their services are offered free of charge. So we cover the costs of the food and accommodation. In this instance, it's for free. Mercy Air, we've taken hands with Mercy Air, another NGO that have a flying capability, and for this type of rescue, when it's flooding and it's water, a group of rescuers working in conjunction with an aircraft makes you that much more effective.
It's quite a proactive approach, right? Because you've already met with other disaster management agencies, and all of you are almost pooling your resources. The location is also very strategic, isn't it?
Absolutely. So what we decided to do is we got hold of National Disaster Management, who put us in touch with the local disaster managers, local police department, and so on. Our aim is actually to come and be an extra tool in their toolbox, so to speak. So it's a resource. We don't come in to take incident command. We're just a resource. And we felt if we were placed around here, it was kind of almost we're close to Mozambique if we were called to go. We're an hour from the border. If we need to go north to, say, to Messina, or we need to move south or even go into Swaziland, we're really strategically placed. And national disaster management know we're here, that we're resourced, we have equipment. And the reason we decided to work proactively is that the amount of time taken to get your team together, to assemble all the equipment, to load it, and then start traveling, that in itself can say 6 or 8 hours. So if we're already here and the equipment is already packed, To deploy, we can leave the camp within 60 minutes, and then however far we have to drive is just the added length of time.
Thank you very much, Ian Sher from Rescue SA. And I can tell you just from experience and having worked with this team on both Cyclone Idai and Cyclone Kenneth, it is a formidable team. But let's hope it doesn't come to that, and hopefully the rains are not as harsh as they are predicted to be.
Well, thank you very much, Dasin Thatia, coming to us from White River in Mpumalanga. We'll continue.